Hey, soul survivors, we're going to have a serious topic tonight about why we, in my opinion, should not seek revenge against our narcissist. For one thing, it brings us down to their level. But today, I just went up to the gas station and it was a very uncomfortable situation. This guy looked like he was like strung out high. And he's like, man, look at that ass. I'm going to grab that ass. Is your man here? Asking all these questions to kind of see how safe it was to violate me. And so he's like, I'm gonna grab that ass. And I do have big butt, uh, smaller frame, but big butt. But completely inappropriate. So, does he have a mental illness? A lot of times when people use drugs, it can be related to a trauma that got them to try it. Not always, but so he might have drug use and mental illness on top of it. So I had to handle it the right way. I could have gotten smart and gotten up in his face like, fuck you, motherfucker. You don't have no fucking right. But I had to handle it the right way to not escalate it. So it was okay. But I get home and I get onto, I'm doing a little social media stuff, trying to do research that way, but you also get extra things. And I come across a shooting like a mile and a half from here. And we've recently had other shootings within 4 or 5 miles from here. And I'm not sure if the lady died, but it's like, I don't even know if it's a mile from here. And I just had a friend have 3 of her kids killed. She was shot in the hand. It was really sweet that they wanted to raise $20,000 for the funeral expenses, and they're well over 100,000. So people were very compassionate. That's a tremendous loss. And that was done by the father. So people are so out of control right now, whether it's drugs, alcohol, mental illness, desperation due to finances, loneliness, whatever it is. But if we seek revenge, that it can escalate. We have to handle the situation. We have to be the stronger person, because if we do something, it will cause a trauma, whether it's justified or not. That's not up to us. That these are my opinions, but if we do something harmful to them, it will cause an injury, and that injury causes a trauma, and people react on that. They get a little more off kilter. And when you deal with somebody who does not have a mental illness, they handle it in a different way. When you have somebody with a mental illness, they're going to come back 100 times harder, or at least 10 times harder. And are we protecting ourselves? Is it worth getting the revenge, or can we accept what happened, that we don't have to stoop to their level? Because it changes the mirroring. Now we're mirroring them. We got to get back up to the good person that we were, get rid of those horrible thoughts. I know some of us sometimes might wish bad things on the new supply, but that puts an impression on who we are, that we're somebody who could wish somebody dead, or we're somebody who could wish somebody ill. And, we have to show people what we would expect for people to treat us. We hope nobody would want that put on us, ill will or death. And it's hard when we're angry, but the more anger that is in this world, and the triggers that people have, because every trauma will cause a trigger. So are we adding to the triggers in this world? Because, let's say you did something to your ex. Now he's pissed off or she's pissed off. They're going to take it out on their kids, their mother, their boss, whoever it is. That person now has triggers, and we are adding trigger upon trigger upon trigger, and the snowball is just happening. And it's astounding to me just tonight, the sexual verbal assault. Luckily, it didn't turn physical, but the entitlement, like he was like, there's another lady, I think it was his girlfriend, but or fuck buddy, but he was grabbing on her ass. And the disrespect to her, he had no respect for her. She's with him, probably thinking he's a shit, as in a good way, but he's disrespecting her, hitting on me. I don't know their relationship. Are they polyamorous? But I don't think so. I think he was just flat out disrespectful, and she's accepting it. She didn't say anything. She just kind of had a smile, and that smile, um, is kind of covering up the pain. It's almost like overcompensating because that should hurt you. It should. And, sometimes when we cope, it gets confusing. I could say she was smiling because she's happy. She thinks it's great that he likes my ass. She smiled about it. A lot of times with traumas, it has the reverse. That's why I talk about the narcissist in reverse, the overcompensation, the little smirks that narcissists have. It's hiding shame, pain. Sometimes they get a pleasure out of our pain. Um, Mental illness is really confusing sometimes because people can get misdiagnosed because there's so many comorbidities overlapping, and just little tweaks of, oh, that makes them a whole different personality disorder or mental illness, or it's not even a mental or illness, it's just a different kind of person. And we have to learn who our person is. And it's so hard to do that because so many people are hiding things, whether it's a fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, or just being naive. Did I handle the situation the right way at the gas station? You know, um, we can't be honest with somebody. I can't say, oh, you're triggering me. I've been sexually assaulted before. Please don't do that, because people don't give a shit. And that's what is so sad about society is we can't be honest. We can't be open. We can't be vulnerable. And then, you know, uh, we have to, in a sense, to all make it work. Um, it seems like we all had to be fake with each other, but if we could get back to the basics of being real with each other. It was kind of an emotional night for me tonight because kind of triggered me. I'm okay, but the murder or shooting, at least a mile from here. And just in the last month or two, there's been several killings in this area. Um, I live in a decent town adjacent to the sixth most dangerous town in Michigan. But, you see things look, this is where it's hard to know what you're walking into a lot of times, because my town, I've seen postings from people about needles all along the walking path, but I haven't seen it where I live. I haven't seen it, so it's not a red flag to me. I don't know about it, but you got to take people's word sometimes for warnings, and you got to do your research on where you live. I have a viewer right now who is traumatized by the people in his complex, and I keep telling him, you know, it's time to evaluate the situation. It's either going to continue and you accept it, or it's time to protect yourself. If it's a dangerous situation, even if it costs us money, there's times you can plan ahead. Sometimes, it'd be nice to just have that money. I know money is hard to come by, but are we taking care of ourselves? So think about it as a parent. Be your own parent. If you were the epitome of a parent and there's shootings or drugs or this or that, would you let your kid live there? Would you try to find a second job or a better job? Or would you just accept it that this is it? Because when you accept this is it, you're going to get those circumstances. So we all have choices that we make, but to take revenge on a narcissist can cause more damage, whether it's to you or to society. So today, I was saved. I was okay. But somebody else was shot, could have been killed. Maybe they are dead. We need to minimize triggers in people. We need to let people heal. And we don't have to enable people. There's a difference between enabling and, you know, like with the no contact, do we express it or do we ghost it? You know, I think it's important to say, look, I'm sorry, it's over. We can say whatever it is, but if we even say, you know, maybe in the future, if we don't mean it, then it causes somebody to hold on. That's kind of narcissistic. We all try to handle things so we don't hurt people. Sometimes, as I said, the narcissist has good intentions, not always, but sometimes they try to have good intentions. Like, of course, I would love to see you. Of course, I would date you. Of course, you know, this, that. And it's all bullshit not to hurt us. But if it's honesty, it might hurt, it might sting. This is a difference. Honesty will sting, but lies will devastate. So, in my opinion, when you start getting that angry, we have to look within us. What is causing us to be that angry? Are we angry they didn't see our value? We have to believe in ourselves then. We have to say, that's okay. They didn't see it. I see it. Instead of seeking the validation from them. And that's hard. That's hard. A lot of us need some validation. You know, if you grew up like, you're so pretty, you don't see that necessarily as abuse, but it causes you to sometimes crave that. And then when people don't say it, you start feeling ugly. So even people with the best intentions will sometimes cause trauma later on. And I just want you to know, as far as narcissistic abuse, you know, the way they shut down, that's a toxic, that's so toxic because, you know, you can't express like what you're feeling. If somebody really loves you and you're like, hey, you haven't said I look nice in a long time, they're not gonna be like, oh my God, you're so needy. They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, you can express your feelings or your needs, and we have to be careful not to be too needy, but we all have needs. And, you know, as we become a whole person, we have to realize that we cannot be the fix for someone. So we can't fix somebody, but we also can't expect one person to fix us or fulfill all our needs. So if you're blessed with a financial provider and somebody with 80% emotional support, you know, maybe the 20 other percent can come from other friends or, you know, going to church or synagogue or mosque or whatever you guys do. But there's avoidant personality disorders and a lot of times we just don't understand each other. And so many relationships and so many things just fall apart and everybody wants to be loved. But some people don't know how to love. Some people don't know how to accept love. But it's getting toxic out there. What I went through tonight, what I saw at the gas station, what I saw on that Facebook post, what I know what has happened in the last couple of weeks right around me, it hits home. It's not some third world country where they just don't know, they don't have the resources to understand or, you know, take care of your mental health because it will cause you to see red flags. Like if I was low in my self-esteem, it could have been like, oh my gosh, you like my ass? Like, really? Yeah, I'll go home with you guys. And it could have been horrible. But when you have the right self-esteem, your words will come out and say, no, I told them, no, you can't touch it, you know, as opposed to, oh my gosh, please don't. Because if you say that, you seem weak and they'll do it. Let's work on our self-esteem, not getting revenge on the narcissist. Lots of love to you guys. We're going to get through this. Let's do our part to try to make this a better society. Don't add any triggers to other people. Revenge is not worth it. So even if it doesn't come back and bite you in the ass, it could bite somebody else. And the narcissist will not give a shit. They'll get a kick out of you trying. They will get a kick out of you doing something because it shows them how much you care. Are you sure you want to show them how much you care? Because they hurt you. Just take a step back, take a deep breath. And, you know, some of you want it to work out. But if it's meant to work out, both parties need to heal. They don't need to hurt each other. So I want to say that one more time. If it's meant to be, because I'm being real with you guys. I've lost subscribers when I'm real with you guys, but I'm being real. Some of you do want that person back. If it's meant to be, both parties need to heal and love each other the right way, not continue to hurt each other, whether it's reactive abuse or abuse. So let life unfold. And that's when you get your true answers. Your true answers will just come. And I promise you that they will just come. It's a hard world out there. Please like and subscribe. One-on-ones are available.